We are live. We're live tonight with Valeria Sizova. She's Miss Multiverse 2020. She's waiting in just the other room. Let's get ready to meet Valeria Sizova. She's Miss Multiverse 2020.
TKPN.
Hello team, thank you so much for having me today.
Welcome to the PageantCast, your home for beauty pageant news and interviews on the internet.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle Keat, Miss Multiverse Australia 2017, and you're watching the PageantCast, the internet's first podcast about beauty pageants. Here's your host, Tim Kretschmann.
We are so pleased that you could join us tonight. This is Tim Kretschmann from the land of lakes and landfills, Muskego, Wisconsin, and we have the very beautiful and stunning Valeria Sizova, Miss Multiverse 2020, in our foreign studios over there. Hello, Valeria. How are you?
Hello team. I am very well, thank you for asking. I'm very excited to join you today.
We are very excited to have you on the program tonight. So, Valeria, where are we calling you from?
Well, I am now in Australia. I did represent Russia, competing in the World Finals in Miss Multiverse 2020, but I am residing currently in Australia for the last 11 years.
Wow. And tell me a little bit about your background. It's a very interesting story.
Sure. So when I was 17, I finished high school, and my father, who's a policeman, he just asked me to pick the country to go and study English, come back with all the knowledge to the mother Russia, and then get this knowledge out to my parents, my friends, and everyone. And I decided to pick Australia for the place to study English and get my education bachelor degree. So I traveled all the way on my own, had my little host family. They were meeting me here. And I did complete Bachelor of Political Social Sciences, majoring in Government and International Relations. Got into Human Resources to get my sponsorship so I can get through the residency procedure, and decided to stay here because I absolutely love this place. And now I have 2 homes that I can come back to, my place where my parents live, and here where my friends and a new family started.
That is fantastic. What a great story. Now, I always ask this question. I ask about what are your pageantants? And by pageantants, what we mean there is your past pageant experience. How did you get started in this crazy hobby activity of pageantry? And what are some of the past pageants you've been involved in?
Sure. Well, pageants were never really on my list before as a part of, like a dream to do, because my family is very conservative. So anything to do with modeling, pageants, anything to do with a public life when you have to speak up and be on a stage was never really discussed in our family. So when I got to Australia and I was just working, doing my human resources and doing my stuff, I was 24, and I had about 6 months period of not able to work because I was transiting through my visa process. And that 6 months that I had without no work permit, I had one of the competitions that popped out on my screen that I could, potentially be a part of. And it was, I think, Miss Northern Beaches, which was a local Australian competition. So I jumped in and I thought, you know what, I'll just try and do something for myself. Mm-hmm. Jump into this competition, had no idea what I was doing on stage, and somehow ended up as a second runner-up, third place in that pageant. And from that local competition that I started at the very beginning, I started my journey and realized that I could do it as a side thing, as something that I really liked. And I got into a few pageants. I did Miss Tourism as well in Australia. It was all local stuff. Mm-hmm. I did travel to China to represent Australia. and I did came first runner up, second in the world for that pageant, and I won Miss Russia Australia 2017. And that's kind of gave me a really good platform to go further and see what I can do with that, because pageants these days is a great way to talk about your beliefs, about your things that you believe. You can encourage other people. So that's how it all started. I said I started a little bit late. At 24, I think, is the age when you're kind of going down through the pageants. But I started later, but I think I achieved a lot by doing so. And I think it was a great timing for me to do so. I think when I was a bit younger, my mental state of mind wasn't very ready for that.
Right. You know, everybody comes at a different stage in their life where they're interested in certain things, you know, and that's always been the case that I've seen with pageants, is that people sometimes it's a lifelong thing, that they're always involved in pageants. It doesn't matter. They become a director, they become a coach, they do that. Other folks, it's just for a few years and they move on. Now, one of the questions I have, Miss Multiverse, how did you find out about Miss Multiverse? Did you see it on a website? Was it on a Facebook post? How did you find out about Miss Multiverse?
Well, I have been following Miss Multiverse for quite some time, and the reason I follow this, I think, because I just saw a lot of pretty girls on the same page of the pageants, and I was just keen to check out the girls and what are they doing. And then I read about the concept, about how it's just not about the looks, but there's a lot of challenges behind it: fitness, IQ, surfing, and a lot of things that comes together for the whole competition. So I just got interested in the concept itself. And I was following this for probably a year and a half before I actually jumped myself to do this competition. I think I saw it on Instagram, and then I jumped onto the website and kind of knew what was going on. And I was following the 2019 competition itself, and obviously went on the YouTube channel and just saw a little bit of behind the scenes of how they do this. And then that's how I knew about this competition. And I think it's very exciting and a great way to represent pageant these days, because you can do so much on stage and look pretty at the end of it. But what comes behind the scenes is the most interesting part of it.
Well, and it's such a wonderful location that you get to do Miss Multiverse. Where was it held?
Tell me about it. We went to Dominican Republic, Punta Cana. We were staying in the 5-star hotel, Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. And it was such an admiring, beautiful place. And I couldn't ask for a better place to have finals. It felt like a holiday for the first 5 hours before we got introduced to our challenges. So
and then they really worked you hard, didn't they? Put you right to work. Okay, enough rest. Get on those heels and let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, it's not like other pageants. It isn't just a runway and interview. You have like physical challenges and that sort of thing at Multiverse, right?
Yes, I would say the pageantry side of things that is very usual. What's happening was at the very end of the whole competition. So they went with us through the hell of different motions and challenges. It was a physical, and it was a lot of, it was like a surf challenge, last woman standing challenge, which the competition that you're just gonna go do fitness exercises until the very end. And if you want to give up, you have to raise your hand and say, I'm giving up now. But if there is a girl that doesn't want to stop, you have to keep going. So our last woman standing lasted for 5 hours in a row, which was crazy.
Wait a minute. Was this Miss Multiverse, or were you becoming Navy SEALs? What was going on?
Well, I don't know what they're preparing us for, you know. Maybe there is a plan behind it, but I think we are ready for anything after that. We did have a surf challenge in Macau camp. We had paintball, we had kayak racing, which I almost killed the whole family by just going in the wrong direction.
Whoops.
So it was a lot of cool challenges. We had marketing business challenge. We had a charity project that we were running. We also had IQ tests as our first challenge to kind of throw us completely out of state. So it was a lot was going on, and the pageantry side of things, as I mentioned before, was at the very end once we went through all of this excitement of going through the challenges.
But you did pretty well in those challenges, right? You got a couple of those challenges. I think you won IQ, right?
Yes, well, with IQ, we didn't know. We did it on the very first day, and everyone was like, oh my God, we wish we would know the results, because it's just something. I tried to Google IQ test, how I can increase my mark, but it was saying it was too late, because wherever you study before would kind of reflect back on the mark. So I couldn't change this. I thought I'll just go with the flow and do my best. And then the result of our IQ test was given on the very last day, like 5 hours before the finals. And then when they announced that I got the highest score, I was surprised. I had no idea what was going on. I just did it. We had 25 questions in 30 minutes that we had to answer. Everyone felt quite confident. So we wouldn't know who would be, better off with the marking. So that was a great surprise for me. And then we had a last woman standing, which I won, but it was an obvious one, because just the last person, whoever decided to stay there and die on the sand in front of the trainer, is going to be the one who's going to win. So I was the last person standing there, and that's why I knew, obviously, that's my challenge that I won 100%. And then on the night of the finals, they announced that the marketing challenge we did and the business challenge with the leadership skills, there was the other two sashes that I got on the night, which was also a surprise. So I was just literally getting all this information through on the very last day of our finals.
Fantastic. Wow. Now, we're getting to an important part of the show, and that's when I bring out the box of mystery.
Right.
Ooh, right there, the box of mystery. And I have dozens of questions, hundreds of questions, actually. I'm going to pull one out here in random. Are you ready? You do not seem ready. You're not ready? I have the question right here. You ready? Here we go. We have a lot of young ladies that listen to this show. Would you encourage them to get involved in pageantry?
Would definitely say yes. I would definitely encourage. I think pageants are a great way and a great stand for us to speak for our beliefs and what we think is the right thing. So if anyone have some sort of agenda they would like to promote, this is just a perfect way for you to raise your voice and bring this awareness for everyone. In my case, I would say I was very passionate about fitness, about nutrition, how we eat, what we do with our lifestyle, what habits we have. And doing pageants really gave me a strong platform where I can be an advocate for healthy lifestyle, how I do my fitness, how I train, how my posture look like when I walk. It's a lot of things that is involved in this process, and I think it's just a great agenda for you to be a part of. Everyone's have different experience with this, and you can come up with a different sort of benefit from that. But in my case, my personal experience is great experience, because I can talk about something I absolutely love. And as I said, it's fitness, it's lifestyle, it's your habits, and that's just your well-being itself. So, and one of the most important part, I know pageants are getting attacked by being judged by other people. Mm-hmm. And this is also part of it, but I think you can build your confidence by knowing that you're going to pageant that is going to be judged, but you have to stay away from the personal judgment of other people. And Miss Multiverse competition, what I really loved about it was a system, point system based. So all the challenges you do comes together with a marking system. Nothing to do, of course, everyone is beautiful there. I couldn't really pick the winner by just looking at them, because everyone was so amazing and pretty. And it was all about the challenges that we faced. And this is how the marking system went into place. And I think this is the beauty about that pageant, because you can appreciate the looks, but if you can appreciate what's inside of it, it just gives a different perspective on a person.
I've noticed over the years when I've done these interviews, it is the well-rounded young ladies that that tend to rise to the occasions when the pressure is on. And a lot of times I ask a lot of successful pageant title holders, and they all tell me the same thing. I was myself. I kind of got out of my own way. I just lived in the moment. I keep hearing these same things over and over. Does that sound correct, or did you have a different experience?
No, I felt like obviously doing pageants for a few years, I went through my mental stages of how I would feel during the competitions. With Miss Multiverse competition, it was a few years before of my training and getting experience in this. Let's say we got jumped into the jungle and we went to, it was a 5-hour bus drive into Samana area, beautiful area, but it was just a exotic, unique hotel that we have to stay in. It's like an eco-friendly place with a shower with cold water, no place to, dry your hair and do your pretty makeup and go into your pageantry mode. They threw us into this for 4 days and we had to do our different challenges and stuff. I personally is arachnophobic, so I'm scared of spiders, and I can only appreciate the beauty of nature by 3 layers of windows everywhere blasted around me. So when I got into that jungle, I almost died from inside. All I knew that I have to hold myself together for 4 days before I'm getting out of this. And a lot of people say, this is where nature meets satisfaction and then just enjoying being there. For me, it was a nightmare. So my personal experience inside of me, I was just trying to get over that moment. And I was very excited to come back to a beautiful Hard Rock Hotel where everything is included and they look after us. But there was a very good test, my personal test of how I can handle stress, because there were spiders everywhere, and the girls that I was staying with, they were just in front of me walking, killing the spiders or taking them kind of away on my way so I can just walk and then not feeling anxious 24/7. And then during that, they put you through like paintball challenge when you have to hide in the jungle. And I remember I was the one who had to run to another embassy to protect, and I was sitting there with my gun, with the paintball, with my shaky hands, and all I can see is the spider webs around me. And I was just like, just breathe, woman, you can do this. And for some people, it doesn't sound like a challenge. For me, it was a hell of a challenge. Like I was so excited to get through this and, have my little personal battles over this, but everyone's got their own challenges. Someone is scared of interviews. Someone's scared of the nature and spiders and crawling things around. Some are scared of IQ tests and getting some, different challenges. And it's just a great way to throw yourself out of comfort.
It's so funny you talking about the spiders, because I actually, when I did this in a radio station and a spider came into my cubicle where I was broadcasting from the production room, and I had the pageant queen was actually in the studio, which is through a window, and she wasn't in the same room, and I saw this spider and I jumped up and I went eek, like a cartoon character, and the pageant girl just got up, came around, killed the spider, and went back in. She's like, God. Oh, I'm a farm girl. And I'm like, I'm just scared of spiders. And this was, I know some of the spiders that you encountered out there are actually dangerous. This was a spider that couldn't hurt a fly, frankly. And I was just freaking out. They get me every time. I'll send you a copy of Arachnophobia, okay? I'll send you that movie. Great movie. You should watch it a couple dozen times. All right.
Oh, but I can't look at the photo. This is how bad it is. I cannot handle it. Even when you talk about it, my whole body is just cringy.
Oh, I agree. I can't do it. You know what it's time for? It's time. Let's get out the chalkboard. It's time for show and tell. Here we go. Okay, I'm writing on the chalkboard. If you think that's my handwriting, that's cute. Okay, what have you got for show and tell?
All right, so I prepared two objects. One of them is very relevant to the competition, and the other one was co-related to that. So first is obviously the crown, but I thought I wouldn't just bring the crown because
Now
it's
hold
just
on.
lame.
Don't put it to the side just yet. Don't put it to the side. Bring it back. Okay. Let's
Yeah,
take a good look at that crown. Our
it's
girls want to
beautiful.
see that crown. Now, how heavy is that thing? That looks heavy.
It's quite heavy, but it's quite comfortable. I've been trying a few crowns for the last few years, and
Okay.
I would say this is my absolute favorite. So beautiful. It stays on your head just so nicely, and there's so many beautiful photos that we had a chance to take. So I love it. It's just we only have a crown for 1 year, as you know, part of
I
the
know.
pageantry system. So I will be
So
crying over to give it to the next person.
I
But I
love
always
that
struggle.
display that you have. Is that a red velvet or something that you have it around?
Yeah, no, it's a protection, so it doesn't go in. So
Ah,
I
nice.
make sure I look after my crown when it's home, but
Okay.
that's how it's like.
Now, does it connect with combs in that one, or you just place it on your head? Or let's see the bottom.
You
The
just,
girls all want me to
I
ask you
will
to turn it over. Yeah, okay. Okay, so it fits like that. Nice. Oh my God, that is a
yes.
beautiful crown. Okay, so that's pretty steady. You don't have to worry
It's
about that
not
one
a
popping off.
object.
Now, how do you travel with that thing? That's got to be tough to travel with. That's big.
I had a lot of customs stopping me by just because when they say, "What's inside?" I said, "It's a crown." They said, "Uh-huh." I was like, "It is a crown," and I had to show them.
They
So
didn't believe you. You know, next time tell them it's a spider. That's what you do.
yeah, no,
You tell them
they
a
don't open
big
it.
giant spider. Okay, and you brought something else as well.
Yes, so I would say for me to get a crown was a very nerve-breaking moment, but it was also a highlight of things that I was believing and to been working on. And
Hmm.
one of the things that really helped me through to get through the competition is the book that I was reading last year. It's called Gut. It's about the most underrated organ in our body, which is our gut. People think it's all about our brain and how we think and what we do, but I think it's a lot depends on how we eat, what type of lifestyle we live, what we choose in our habits on daily activities. And this book is explains something very hard in a very basic language to say that everything relates to stress, and we have to know how to handle our stress in order to achieve things. So if you have a goal to set and if you have things to do, there are ways to handle this, whether it's a right food to take, a good habits to have during the day, how you can look after yourself, how we can digest food when we stress. There's a lot of things related to stress and how we can handle this. And this is just it was a perfect mentor for me to go through
Hmm.
the stages of my stress because each girl always worried during the pageants whether she looks skinny enough, whether she has to put on some weight, if her measurements is correct, or whether she feels confident on stage, how she looks like when she talks. There's so many things that you're worried about, and as a pageant girl, you need to have some sort of mentor to go through this. And this book really helped me to understand how I can handle my stress in situations when it's very hard to kind of have everything under control. Because I'm a control freak myself. I like to be everything to be known about and be prepared for. But when you jump into pageant, especially something like Miss Multiverse, when every day is a different challenge and they don't tell you what's the challenges ahead of you, you have to be mentally prepared for this. You have to eat well, you have to exercise, you have to drink enough water. You know, these basic things that have to sink in your head so you are ready for this. So this book really helped me to go through the stages of my emotional being nervous and just being emotional over the 3 weeks of challenges we had. So that's why I brought this book as my main object, and I would recommend everyone to read this. Is by Julia Enders, and she, as I said, she said very in a very simple way to explain how we have to care about ourselves and handle our stress on daily basis.
All right, and I'll get the information on that book and put it in the show notes for everybody. I'm sure you can get it at Amazon. I don't know if many books you can't. So I'll get that link and put that in the show notes for everybody after the program. Also, while we're talking about the internet, there you come. Okay, there we go. Just a quick look, the website for Miss Multiverse. I thought I had the URL. Come on. There we go. MissMultiverse.com. You know you're in the right spot if you get this photo at the top. And then there's usually a video rolling here, which I believe was the last few years. And lots of information on how to join Miss Multiverse. Fantastic program. I'm sure you would suggest people going to the website first if they have questions about the pageant.
Definitely to go on the website, whether it's Instagram or Facebook pages. Linda Grandier and her people that works with her would answer pretty much on a daily basis. There's a lot of questions, a lot of inquiries going through. Even now, I got back to Australia and all the girls are asking me how to get on there, what type of casting you have to go through. So Linda and her people are answering this throughout the year. And they handle all the inquiries. So if there's any questions, website, Facebook, Instagram, it's all available 24/7 for discussion.
You know what else is on right now? Our chat room. And we're going to take a question from the chat room right now. So here we go. All right, that video's too long. There we go now. We have... I have a suspicion this is actually Linda. I think she's asking a question. What's your favorite challenge at Miss Multiverse? What was your favorite? It was the spider interactions, right? That was your favorite, interacting with spiders? No?
It was great. The last day when we were leaving on the bus, that was the best part of that challenge when I was going back.
Going back to the nice, beautiful resort. Yeah.
My absolute favorite challenge was the last woman standing. I was actually going through YouTube videos and all the seasons to check out what type of challenges the girls were doing. And the last woman standing was a lot of physical stuff. So if you see me 3 months back before the competition, I was in the gym doing all these random exercises that I tried to pick up from their challenges that I saw, trying to prepare myself. The exercises were not the same. But I was honestly physically trying to prepare myself and mentally knowing that it's going to be a non-stop fitness challenge. We just have to jump and do whatever non-stop with, no water, sun exposure and all these things to kind of get you through to the hard moments. So I would say that's the hardest one. And I had all the support of girls throughout this as well. Everyone was screaming to make sure we keep pushing and going forward. We had me and Miss Canada left as the last two on that challenge. And man, I don't know, I've been looking at all the girls. They didn't want to give up. So first 2 hours, I was like, okay, I'm not feeling 100% right now. And everyone is still here. And I was like, how am I going to last here for all these exercises? And it was just hard because it was every girl I think was really prepared for that challenge.
Wow. Well, and you said how long did you do that again? 5 hours?
5 hours, yes.
I once almost had a massage for 15 minutes and almost passed out. And that's not physical activity. That is literally laying. So I can't relate to this at all.
To be honest, when we did the warm up for 20 minutes, the challenge hasn't kicked in, like it hasn't started, but the 20 minutes of this warm up, and I was like, okay, I'm really out of breath right now. Are we gonna go to the actual challenge now? Because for me, it's already started with a warm up. Everyone was already exhausted by then. I was like, this is not a good start. Whatever I was preparing for obviously didn't work for me. And then when I was going through the motions of the exercises, there is like a stage where you're just giving up, like every 10, 15 minutes, you jump looking around that everyone is still there. And I was like, okay, well, since everyone is staying here, I'll stay here. And I was like, if anything, the only thing will stop me is probably me passing out of it, because I was like, I don't want to just give up. But everyone was staying there for so long. I just couldn't believe how everyone just got all this mind and physical readiness just to stay there for so long. I was very impressed with all the girls around me. I wasn't expecting to even get closer to, I don't know, top 5. But it was a definitely tough one.
Yeah, I'm just listening in awe, because one time I participated in a thing where we have a tall building here in Milwaukee that's about 34 floors or something, and they had this challenge to go up all the stairs.
Yes.
I during the warm up for it, because you gotta make sure you stretch in that.
Yeah.
I already was asking, is there a seat? Is there somewhere I can relax for a minute? And they're like, you haven't started, Tim. And I'm like, I'm started. I was hanging out. You know, I had to put out my cigarette after the 3rd floor. I'm kidding. I did not go up with the cigarette. It's just one of my jokes. All right. We have another question here. What was the most beautiful in the Dominican Republic? Wow.
I would say
she's
the whole
not giving you easy questions. I gave you easy questions, Valeria. She's being tough with you. Okay. What is the most beautiful?
I had to prepare for. Well, there's a lot of beautiful things in Dominican Republic. I would say we had a bit of a sightseeing to do. So we had an opportunity to travel to Santo Domingo, the historical center of the city, and it was divine just to look at just so many pretty places. In the pageants, you're usually too busy doing the pageantry side of things, but we actually had an opportunity to do the bus ride, take your photos and the photo shoots around the resort, go to another city, to the capital of the Dominican Republic, obviously staying in Punta Cana. Samana was absolutely divine place to be in, even through it was a jungle, but it was just the most beautiful places I've been to. So I did feel like a little bit of holiday, because I've seen a lot of Dominican Republic and I loved it. I think it was very beautiful, and I will definitely come back there for a holiday, not for a challenge, just for holiday.
not for all the challenges. No more of all this being forced into things, having people shoot paint at you. Let's just have a good time. Now, what did you learn about yourself during the contest? I know when I've done paintball, I was surprised how much I learned about myself, because there's those quiet times where you're just waiting to get, shot with paint and that. Here you had one challenge right after another, and then a pageant at the end of it. You must have really went through some highs and lows and that sort of thing. What did you learn about yourself through that entire process?
It's such a great question, because I think it goes through the mind of all the girls through this pageant, because it's not for 1 week, it's 3 weeks, and it's every day the challenge that you are not getting told what you're going to do next. So it is kind of getting you out of your comfort zone, and then they're going to show you how you are reacting to things and how, although you will be always recorded on a camera. So what I learned about myself is all the practice and all the training that I had previously. Sometimes you do something and you don't know if it's going to be helpful in the long term. What I've been doing in pageants, I've been participating and I've been getting frustrated with things. I've been getting through the participation and doing the pageant and not winning it. And there was so many questions you ask yourself: what can you do better? How you can improve yourself? How can you enjoy the pageant experience when you are in the middle of challenges, when you know you're not the best, in everything you do? Like with this Miss Multiverse finals, I wasn't great in karaoke. I didn't win the surf challenge. I didn't win kayak challenge. There's so many things that you kind of have to understand that you can't be absolutely best at everything. You are in competition mode. You just have to concentrate and do your absolute best. Whether this absolute best gonna get you to the number one place, it's not guaranteed. So you just have to get the emotions out of it, all the frustration on you out of it, and just do your best. and then don't have an emotional attachment towards other girls as well, because all of us, all for one reason of obviously to trying to get the crown, trying to get the marks high. Within this experience, I realized that I can handle stress quite well, because I've been, anytime I was doing a competition and when I felt like I'm not 100% doing it well, I was just, you know what, tomorrow is going to be another day. I better have some sleep. I better think about it. I better listen to my favorite song, get my emotions back in it, and just do it very well tomorrow. And just going through this emotion, speak to girls, speak to Linda, speak to, people around you, to kind of having your thoughts out and just prepare for the next day of challenge. It's just very important. You have that in your head that you always going to do your best. You just have to be mentally prepared for it. So I felt like this competition showed me that I could be I could manage my stress much better than I used to do before.
Well, you certainly are taking the stress of this interview and you are stuffing it right down our throats there. You've got this nailed. Okay, we got another tough one that Linda's throwing at us. So winning or not, why would you recommend entering Miss Multiverse? I know some people are scared of joining a pageant because they're like, well, what if I don't win? There were quite a few pageants where you came in second and third place and that sort of thing. Do you always take something away from each pageant?
To be honest, there has been so many pageants, and I did quite a few for the last few years. There's so many of them I came first runner up. I was second place, and that was triggering my mind, because as a girl, I was thinking, what's not good enough? What's I'm missing out of that girl who won? Or when I started, I would be third or fourth or fifth. So I was kind of somewhere there, but I would not get it to the very first place. So it does trigger your mind, and you does think what's wrong with you. And you shouldn't do this. And I understand it only now, because I said it doesn't work like this. It's not something wrong with you. You are not, it's not the right place. It's not the right time for you. It means there is something else to work on, and there are things to improve. And whether you're going to win it or not, just to be a part of a pageant, to be a part of a competition and see what can you improve on, to do, to reflect on, is just a great way to show you it's great to be a part of. It's definitely challenging. With Miss Multiverse, you are targeting so many challenges and things, like with IQ and fitness. And after this competition, you can say, you know what, I placed seventh and I did so well. I will definitely work on my skills of being more fit and do some exercises and improve my stamina and just work on my cardio. Another girl would say, you know what, I did, my fitness challenges were all excellent, but my IQ wasn't as what I was expecting. Maybe I will do some brain games. I will go on and read some book. I'm going to go and sign up for the course. And for myself, my personal experience, I'm not very good with interviews on the camera, and it has always been a challenge for me, because I used to start it for so many years. So I've been looking at obviously the seasons before that, and during the Miss Multiverse, I realized that I have to improve my skills on talking on the camera. And now I will be taking some courses on public speaking, so I can improve that skill and I can do a better job. Even though I won by the marking system, I still think there's a big room for me for improvement. There is so many things that I can do better, and I can reflect by looking at this competition and say, I did well, and thanks God it got me to the place I am today, but I still would like to work on my public speaking skills. I would like to work on my managing my stress better. There's so many things to learn. Sometimes it's not about winning, it's about reflecting yourself within this competition and see what you can do better for next time.
I'm giggling to myself because he keeps saying, oh, I'm not sure about my interview skills. And I'm sitting here and looking at a young woman that's able to put together an answer like that in a language you didn't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you didn't know this language at all? I mean, you're being tough on yourself.
Yes, my first 2-3 years was a bit of a struggle, yeah.
Yeah, you're being pretty tough on yourself. You're doing fantastic. Okay, we got another question here in the chat room. Was it fun too? Did you have parties? Were there boats, suntanning, shoots? What all was it? What was the fun stuff that you got to do? We've been talking about chasing spiders and shootouts with paintball. What did you get to do that was fun?
We did have some fun, 100%. That happened. Well, we had a lot of events, live events, even through its COVID and its pandemic, and a lot of things that we would do on any other years was kind of limited for us because there was a lot of restrictions because it's a bunch of girls and we had a crew as well to film us. So there was a lot of restrictions, but with our hotel where we were staying at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, we had a lot of live bands events that we were a part of. There was a lot of live music, entertainment, karaoke, and there's a lot of things that we just did for ourselves. We also went to do some charity project, and we went to a boat. We went to just places to, as I said, to do some sightseeing. So we definitely had some fun, and there was some downtime for us in between our challenges where we could just enjoy ourselves and have a nice dinner and just talk about how we went through the day and how fun it was. Even some of the challenges, I would say surf challenge. I am not a fan of water. I was drowned when I was a little kid. I'm not really into like anything with water sports, like everything with ground, when I can touch it, I'm fine. When it comes to surfing,
wait. Stop. Did you just say I almost drowned as a little kid and you just ran right past that? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
tell us this story. Come on.
I'm from the port, Vladivostok, from far eastern Russia. So we have we have our ocean there. We go on the summertime and we spend our time outside and we swim. So it's not like Russia is always minus 40 and there is like Siberia there 24/7. So we have our beaches as well that we go to. So it was just a very bad current. So I was 6 years of age and I went underwater and my sister lost me, and then she just pointed out to the parents that I went somewhere that way, and they got me out of water. Because I was 6, I remember this. So my sister doesn't swim and doesn't touch the water, and myself, I don't go to the water. I can look at it. I can enjoy the beautiful view in Australia because it's a beautiful country, a lot of beaches, but I just watch. So when we had a surf challenge, I was very quiet on the day, even through Linda was saying that you're going to have the best day of your life. When I heard it's going to be surf challenge, I was like, no, this is not going to end up well. But what to be, what the best part out of this challenge, I actually did enjoy this because we had a top team to look after us, and my trainer somehow, some random Dominican guy could learn some Russian words and was singing me a Russian song in the middle of ocean, trying to get me through the stage of jumping on and catching the wave. He was like, Kalinka, Marinka, Kalinka, Maya. And I was like, okay, I got it. I can do it. So, you know what, this support and all these trainers around and the competition mode really kind of blocked me from being scared of water and think about my previous experience when I was a kid. And I did place 3rd in this competition. I wasn't the best, but somehow I managed to catch a few waves. I did enjoy this. I wouldn't say I was just scared through the entire moment. I was silent before that, but it was one of the best days because I kind of overcame my phobia.
You conquered the fear.
So
wow.
I can only say it's been a great day. I'm not going to go for a surf now, but it was great to have it as a part of the competition.
Well, I'm sitting here kind of laughing too because it reminds me of one of my favorite lines from Jaws. You do understand that Australia is an island. It's surrounded by water. You move to a place that there's just water everywhere around you. And it has the most shark attacks of any coast in the world. Shark facts are always going to come out on my show. Sorry, I'm just a huge Jaws fan. All right. Well, I did nothing to help you with your water phobia, aquaphobia. So we got arachnophobia, we got aquaphobia, but you conquered the water. You conquered the water. That's huge. That's huge. I just learned what a poor swimmer I was this past week. I'm like, oh, this is not good. I'm not good at this at all. Where's the whirlpool?
You know what? It does help you. I went to Malta to travel, and we had, like the banana one, then where you just jump in and they're just taking you through the water.
Yeah, yeah.
So my parents thought somehow I would enjoy this. I think they forgot about my whole experience. So they put me on this banana with a group of people, and this guy circled for about 45 minutes to get me off, because his whole job is to get off banana so we can all end up in the water. I was the only one staying strong at the very end of the banana, holding it together. And then he finished the whole thing. He said, I just gave up, man. I went through like 100 kilometers per hour to get you off this banana. It just doesn't get off. I said, I'm so sorry. I'm just scared to end up in the water.
Oh my goodness, that is fantastic. You're like a rodeo cowboy. Like, I'm not getting off of this. I'm staying on. You can try whatever you want. Oh, that is awesome. Hey, we're just about at the end. What I do like to ask, is there any last stuff that you would like to say to our viewers? What I'm going to do is put on your camera direct. You can look right into your camera. Is there anything you'd like to tell our viewers who are trying to decide, hey, should I try this Miss Multiverse? Should I learn more about it? Tell them what you would like to say to that young lady.
I would like to say that you should definitely check it out and try it for yourself. I think there's a lot of things that we do in our life to please everyone else, to think what other people think about you or anything. I think Miss Multiverse is a journey to discover yourself, how you can handle yourself, what challenges you can possibly face throughout life. These 3 weeks of challenges that you're going to face, it's going to be like a mini show of what things can, possibly go through your life. So it's just a great way to experience something in such a short period of time, see how you go with your stress, with handling other people, obviously dealing with so many girls around you, talking to so many people, having 24/7 camera on you is a lot of pressure, a lot of challenges to face, but it's just a great way to self-discover yourself and see what you can improve on, what can you enjoy more, or maybe, a change of career. Maybe you would think, I really love the fitness challenges. Maybe I should jump in and do my fitness course and become a personal trainer. There are so many ways, so many platforms that you can jump from that point to something else. It's just a great way to discover yourself. So I definitely would recommend to jump on and check out a few seasons and see how girls are handling this, and just enjoy to watch it and see if you can discover yourself in that too.
That's fantastic. Hey, we're getting to the end portion of the show. I know you're sad. I know you are very sad, so try to get over that, first of all. We need to make sure that I'm not psychologically scarring you, like throwing you into an ocean or something like that. So, Valeria, one of the things we like to do at the end, there's always this joke about the best pageant wave. What is the best pageant wave? So I'm going to set a scene for you, Valeria. You are on the back of a convertible car, and there are people on both sides. You're in a parade, and I want to see how you wave to the crowds of people out to see you, Miss Multiverse 2020. So let's see your best pageant wave.
I would just give a hug and a handshake, but let me do a pageant wave then.
Oh, first the crown goes on. This is very good. This is putting the work in.
I have it for 1 year. Let me use my
I love this. This is awesome. Nobody puts on the crown. I'm so happy. You don't know. Hold on. You do not know how happy that makes me. I'm always like, why aren't they wearing the crown? You only get it for the year. Wear the crown. Wear the sash. You came here the sash the whole time. I love it. I love it. Okay. All right. Let's see the wave now. Let's see.
So like this.
Okay, she's got
Like-
the wiggle. This is called the wiggle, everybody. She does the wiggle. You know, oh God. Oh my.
And a hug. And
Damn
a
it.
hug. And a kiss to everyone.
You know what sells it is your smile. Your smile really brings everything out. That is wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight, Valeria.
Thank you so much, Tim, for having me. It was absolute pleasure to be a part of your show and a bit of share my experience with you all.
It was fantastic getting to know you. I know you're going to do some great things in the future. Please do stay in touch with us. Now, something we like to do at the end of the show, we like to say Tierra Dreams. Okay? So at the count of three, we'll both say Tierra Dreams, and we'll try to say it at the same time. I usually mess it up, but it's okay if I mess it up. You have to be perfect, okay? So,
Yep.
yeah, okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Tierra Dreams, everyone. No, you're supposed to say Tierra Dreams too.
Oh, no. Sorry. I messed
Let's
up
do it
already.
again. Let's do it again. That was our dry run. 3, 2, 1. Tierra Dreams, everyone.
Everyone.
Thank you.
PageantCast.